that you couldn't see in the spring or in fall camp until you saw on the game field with him and what he could really do? Maybe he surprised you with.
You know, he's in a lot better shape, you know, than he was in spring for sure. He did some really good things in spring. I mean, it wasn't a surprise that he was going to make an impact. I honestly believe the biggest thing that kind of held Kyle back early in the year was he got injured and missed the majority of camp, and we didn't even know if we were going to have him available for the first couple of games. I mean, it wasn't just a 2 or 3 day deal. I mean, he missed weeks, and when you miss that much time, I mean, you know, the guys you're competing with get better. You know, you miss the time on the field, you lose a little bit of that sharpness, you lose a little bit of conditioning, and you don't just come back like, you know, day one. Like, I think his first day came back to practice was maybe like Tuesday of the last week, and we were able to play him a little bit that game because we got up. But I mean, it's been a climb back. And listen, we've got other good players in there too. You know, I mean, he's gotten work and he's done well here, but he's had to earn those reps, and he has. I give him credit. He's stuck with it, and he's playing he's doing some really good things, playing at a really solid level. That Caleb and all of us have a lot of trust in him right now.
I know Dennis hit that big field goal before the half, but had missed 2 before that. What's your confidence level going forward?
Oh, very high. I mean, he kicked the holder moved his foot on the first one. He kicked the holder's foot. So I've never seen a kicker could make a field goal and hit the holder's foot. If he did that, he'd be really good. Yeah, and he just barely didn't hit a great ball on the second one. Those happen, but then yeah, he comes back and drills a 49-yarder into the wind that ended up being the differentiating points in the game. So no, it's, you know, listen, it's any of these decisions that we make in a game. I mean, there's no 100% decisions, right? You can go coach it all you want. Your players can go do everything perfect throughout the week. Not everything's going to work out. I mean, it's you prep the best you can. The players prep the best you can. You get into the games, you let it rip. If there's a continuing problem, of course you're going to address it or make adjustments. But no, we got a lot of confidence in Dennis, and I think Dennis showed his confidence by going back and nailing that one because that was a big kick and a big momentum kick in that game.
You guys are kind of going to right now, UCLA, Notre Dame, federal title game. It's like high intensity. You've coached through that before, but this team hasn't gone through yet. So how do you kind of prepare them for a 3-week stretch like this?
Yeah, you know, it's exciting. I mean, I think the team's excited to do it. I think stressing to them just the fact that we've got to continuously improve because you're obviously playing good opponents and with a lot of opportunities at stake. But I think you have to embrace it. One, like enjoy being in this moment, enjoy competing at this level, and I mean our team gets excited to play teams like this. I mean there's no question about it. I mean it's fun playing really good competition and cool venues with a lot of things on the line. Like that is so much fun, and so embrace it. Let's make sure that we keep getting better. Yeah, I mean I do think they have a sense for it. Like, I don't think we're certainly not going to minimize the moment. I'm not worried about that. And so I think for us it's probably more about us just staying focused on process and how can we get better and how can we keep taking the steps internally here we know we need to take and can take.
A couple weeks ago, you said you were happy with the snap count that you got Jordan in on the Colorado game, and obviously this week you came back full strength and showed it. Are you happy with the amount of snaps that Mario Williams played and his production?
Yeah, it was. I mean, they had different injuries, you know, so it wasn't. You know, it's not like everybody comes back on a pitch count. But no, we thought Mario handled the work well. Came out of the game healthy. You could tell he did some really good things. You could also see some rust when you missed a punt the ball, just like Jordan had against Colorado, and that's the value of these guys getting a chance to get in there and play and get their feet back under them. So, but Mario came out of the game healthy, and I would expect he'll continue to progress.
What stands out about the Notre Dame defense?
They're good. I mean, they haven't given up 400 yards yet this year. They started doing college football. You know, they've been good on third down. I think they got good players at all levels. You know, you can tell they've recruited there for many years, and they've built a talent base, and that shows up, right? I mean, there's a lot of talented guys on that field, and then when the backups come in, there's still a lot of talented guys on that field, and they've done a nice job. They've had a really good defensive year. I don't see just a ton of weaknesses with the group. I mean, they've got guys who can rush the passer. They've played well in the secondary. They've intercepted balls. They've been good on third down. I mean, they're good defense. They're a challenging defense. The margins are thin with a group like that. You got to execute at a high level, and I've said that before. We play good groups, but that's what shows up. It's opportunities are always going to be there, but the windows are tougher. The opportunities are a little bit maybe not as easy sometimes, and it's never easy, but good teams and good defenses make it harder on you to make plays, and they do a nice job.
With senior day this week, how big was it for you to get Brett and Andrew back on the offensive line, building this roster, and what role did they play in terms of like building your culture this year?
Yeah, they were them among others. I mean, they were critical. I mean, Brett, they had to come back and play center and play as well as he has, especially the second half of the season, to be a leader for us, to allow us to do some of the things we wanted to do offensively. Having an experience was very helpful there, and he's been a great culture guy for sure. Andrew, I mean, really a lot of the same things. He decided not to go to the NFL and came back, which I think sent a message to this entire roster about how serious guys within the walls were about getting this thing right. And that was an important moment. I'll always look back and think of that. I didn't know it as much at the time because I knew I'd seen him and met him one day, and at that point I met about 5,000 people in the past 48 hours. So I probably didn't realize how big that was at that time, but that was important. It was a tone setter in a lot of ways, and guys have been good players for us and been good leaders, and they've wanted this to happen. It's been fun for all the like even just like the game the other day. It's been fun seeing the guys be able to enjoy some of these moments, and all of them, but especially the ones that have been here for a while. Like their appreciation level, for what this team has done and what they've led and what they've certainly made a big difference in doing is you can tell it means a lot to them.
Let's do one more. After the Cal game, you mentioned how this team is so close. There was a fine line between blowing them out and blowing other teams out and having close games. Do you feel that they're now kind of they're playing like their best football, hitting that stride at the right time with these big 3 weeks coming up?
That's the plan. That's the plan. I think we did some things the other night and then the last couple that get you pretty excited about where we're headed. And this is kind of what you gear up for, right? It's going to take our best on all sides, throughout this closing stretch and this weekend. And so, you gear up for it. But again, it's not, you want it to be that way, but it's not always like the perfect climb or the perfect this. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs throughout it, but I see mentality progressing. I see us, finding some cool ways to win, and obviously beating some good opponents and got with some more here on deck. So, that's the plan. I mean, that's kind of what we're out here grinding for, working for, and I think this team's very serious about getting it done.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you all.